So for introductions, I'm going to talk about why national tourism policy is important. So tourism is one of the biggest industry in the world, and in Malaysia, it plays a huge role in our economy. It creates millions of jobs and brings billions of ringgits and help promote our culture. But before the pandemic, our tourism industry already had a problem, like too many tourists in some places, damage to the environment, and also uneven development. Then the COVID-19 hit and tourist number dropped from over 26 million in 2029 to just 4.3 million in 2022. We lost more than 100 billions in revenue. That's when the government knew we need a better plan. So in December 2020, the National Tourism Policy was launched. The goal is to make Malaysia a strong, sustainable, and competitive tourism destination. The policy focuses on things like ecotourism, protecting our culture, and using more digital tools to help tourism business grow, especially the business small one. It also supports local communities, especially in the rural areas, by giving them chances to take part in the tourism. Overall, the NTP is a very smart and long-term plan to help rebuild the industry and make sure tourism is benefits for everyone, not just the big city, but the whole country.
First, silo mentality and dependency syndrome. This means different agency and tourism players often work alone instead of as a team. Everyone guards their own roles and expects help from high level instead of cooperating with others. For example, in Langkawi, different groups launched their own eco-tourism projects without coordinating. Tourists got confused with similar eco trails and brushes, and some facilities were left underused. This shows how poor collaboration can lead to wasted resources. Second, we lack innovation. Many Malaysian tourist spots still offer outdated experiences. Modern tourists, especially younger ones, want something new and interactive. For instance, Malacca has a great history, but it still relies on static museum display. Other countries like Japan have started using virtual and augmented reality to bring history alive. Without such upgrades, we risk losing tourist interest. Third, service quality is inconsistent. In 2023, when My Airline suddenly stopped operation, many tourists were stranded. They got no clear updates and no refunds and had to cancel their planes. This situation not only caused stress and financial loss but also damaged Malaysia's tourism image. We need better customer service and stronger emergency response. Fourth, destination management is weak in some areas. For example, Mount Kinabalu is suffering from overcrowding and trail damage due to high tourist numbers and lack of proper planning. If we don't improve infrastructure, safety, and environmental care, we risk damaging this natural treasure and losing future tourists. Lastly, we rely too much on traditional marketing like brochures and printed ads. But today, tourists discover places online, especially on social media. For example, Thailand used TikTok, influencers, and YouTube to attract young tourists after the pandemic. In contrast, Malaysia focused on old-style promotion in 2022, missing out on big online audience, so that's why we need to step up our digital marketing game. The first policy objective is economic growth and revenue generation. This objective aims to boost Malaysia's GDP through tourism while creating jobs and business opportunity. A great example is the Genting Skyworld theme park in Pahang. Opened in 2022, this 1.2 ringgit Malaysia billion project created thousands of jobs and attracted tourists, helping local business and the economy. The second is sustainable tourism development, is to grow tourism without harming our environment or heritage. In Malacca, strict rules and heritage-friendly policy allow high tourist arrival while preserving its UNESCO World Heritage status. This shows we can protect culture and nature while still benefiting from tourism. The last is digital transformation and innovation. The policy promotes digital tools to enhance tourist experience and stay competitive. During COVID-19, the Malaysia MySafe Tourism certification helped build traveler confidence through QR codes and contactless systems. This made Malaysia a safer, smarter destination.
Good day everyone. Today I will present the 6 main strategies outlined in the National Tourism Policy 2020 to 2030, which aims to transform Malaysia into a sustainable and competitive premier tourist destination. The focus is on attracting high-value tourists to benefit both the nation and local communities. So the first strategy is to upscale the tourism workforce. This includes improving the quality of tourism education offered in universities and colleges. Certification programs for tour guides are also encouraged to ensure a professional and skilled tourism workforce. Moving on to the second strategy is to promote responsible tourism. This strategy emphasizes eco-friendly practice through operators like homestays and resorts. It also supports wildlife conservation and protecting ecosystems while promoting sustainable tourism. To ensure success, the policy also focuses on strengthening governance. This involves cooperation between government agencies and NGOs to build strong policy and regulation frameworks for tourism development. In the era of digitalization, embracing smart tourism is vital. This strategy encourages the use of technologies like cashless payments to enhance tourism experiences and operational efficiency. The fifth strategy is to meet the increasing demand for high-quality experiences. For example, medical tourism in Malaysia attracts international patients seeking premium services, which boosts tourist spending and stay duration. Lastly, the policy supports the development of special tourism investment zones. These areas receive incentives to attract investors. A great example is Mount Kinabalu in Sabah, where high-end lodges are developed to cater to high-value tourists. These six strategies form a strong foundation for positioning Malaysia as a top global tourism destination by 2030. Each strategy, sustainability, and inclusive economic benefits for local communities. The first strength lies in its strong focus on sustainable tourism development. The policy aligns with the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and promotes eco-friendly practices. It encourages tourism business to adopt green technologies and how the low-carbon methods works. It also enforces ESG compliance in private tourism investments, ensuring that nature is protected even as the industry grows. Secondly, the policy is designed with resilience in mind, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's why the policy is designed with resilient planning. With an 83.4% drop in tourist arrivals during the crisis, the policy responded by boosting digital transformation and focusing on domestic tourism, which now accounts for over 73% of total tourism consumption. This makes the sector more adaptable for future stocks. Finally, a major strength is the emphasis on smart tourism. Since 2018, Malaysia has pushed forward the Smart Tourism 4.0 initiatives. This innovation-focused approach can potentially grow tourism revenue from 35 billion to 110 billion by 2030. By encouraging luxury hotels and tourism and business to embrace digital technologies, it enhances service quality and competitive in global tourism market.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Syuhada binti Abraham and today I will briefly explain the weaknesses of the National Tourism Policy 2020 until 2030. While this policy has a good plans for the tourism industry in Malaysia, but there are still several issues that make it difficult to fulfill succeed. So I will talk about four main weaknesses. The first weaknesses is there is unequal implementation between Peninsular Malaysia and East Malaysia. Most tourism developments such as promotion, infrastructure, and investment are focused more on the West Coast and main city like Kuala Lumpur and Penang. Meanwhile, places like Sabah and Sarawak, which is also have rich culture and beautiful nature, are still left behind. Many rural and indigenous communities there do not get the same support, even though they have a great tourism potential. Next, limited crisis preparedness. The policy lacks strong crisis planning. We can see this clearly during the COVID-19 pandemic. Many tourism business are not prepared and they had no backup plans or support system. Many of them lost income and lost their store down. This shows that the policy needs to include better planning for emergency like pandemic, natural disaster, or economic crisis to protect tourism workers and also their business. The third weaknesses is low digital witnesses among small and rural tourism operators. Many of them doesn't know how to use digital tools like website, booking platform, or social media to attract tourists. This makes it hard for them to compete in today's online tourism market. Without a proper digital skills and support, they are left behind and miss out of many opportunities to grow up their businesses. The last weaknesses is poor environmental management. Our environmental management is still weak, especially at popular tourist sites. Some areas face problems like pollution, overcrowding, and damage to natural habitats. Although the policy mentions sustainable tourism, on the ground there is not enough enforcement or education. If this continues, our natural beauty, which is one of Malaysia's main attractions, could be damaged over time. Next, I will share some recommendations to improve the National Tourism Policy 2020 until 2030. These ideas focus on fixing the weaknesses we discussed earlier and making tourism better for all parts of Malaysia. So, there are four main recommendations. The first recommendation is to improve infrastructure, especially in East Malaysia and rural areas. Right now, the place like Sabah and Sarawak doesn't have the same level of roads, transport, and internet like the big cities. By upgrading these basic facilities, more tourists can visit safely and comfortably, and it can help local communities benefit more from tourism. Next is to improve digital competency for tour operators. We need to help tourism operators, especially in small towns, because it can improve their digital skills. Many of them doesn't know how to use online platform to promote their businesses. We can recommend the government to provide training and digital tools so they can learn to use website, booking apps, and social media. This will help them reach more visitors and their business will grow faster. The third recommendation is tourism performance management system. The government should introduce a tourism performance management system. It means collecting data and feedback to measure how well the policy is working. If something is not going well, they can fix it early. Having a good system can help keep the tourism plan on track and also ensure everyone is doing their part. The last recommendation is enforcement of environmental protection and sustainability. We can recommend stronger environmental protection because Malaysia has beautiful beaches, forests, and islands, but some tourist spots are now overcrowded or polluted. We need to enforce eco-friendly rules and educate tourists and businesses about sustainability. By doing this, we can protect our natural attraction for the future. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, for conclusion, Malaysia tourism has a big potential but face problems like poor coordination between agencies, outdated tourist services, and weak marketing. Places like Langkawi and Melaka needs to modernize, and customer service, as seen in Malaysian Airlines 2023 shutdowns, need improvement. Some tourist spots are overcrowded and not well maintained. The National Tourism Policy 2020 until 2030 aims to fix this by promoting sustainable tourism, improving infrastructure, and using technology. Projects like Genting, Skyworlds, and Malaysia MySafe Tourism show progress. The policy also focuses on better teamwork, innovation, training, and digital marketing. However, challenges remain in rural areas like Sabah, Sarawak with poor infrastructure and limited digital skill. To success, Malaysia must improve transport, internet, digital training, and enforce environment law. This will make tourism more sustainable and inclusive.